What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Matty P, Marky D here with another episode of Steelers Touchdown Under, previewing the Steelers vs 49ers. Game 1 of the 2023 NFL season is finally here. It's freaking amazing. It's finally here, Marky D. Can you believe it? It has been a crazy long off season.
It's been heaps long, man, when you really think about it, eh? Sorry, I was watching it out in the background. I could hear myself twice. Yeah, no, it's been like a crazy time. Like I'm just glad it's here. It's like we now can finally talk about a team that we're versing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we know our players. And I did see I saw a tackling drill the other day with Holcomb, Roberts. One of this one actually, Roberts and those guys from the middle linebackers and corner. They look fired up, dude. Then I heard Patrick Peterson talk about they're going to rally to the football. All 11 guys are going to rally to the ball. Like, they're saying 49ers are going to win this game. I'm saying we've done it before. We beat the Bills. We beat the Bengals. This one, I'm more confident out of all the opening days. I'm more confident this one.
Yeah, and it's at home too. And I don't know if you saw the news this morning. I saw it on, I think, like 4 or 5. It came out 4 or 5 hours ago. I saw it when I woke up. Did you see the Minkah Fitzpatrick logo scenario in the dressing room?
Yes. Yeah, I was going to do a video on that.
I freaking love that. So if you guys missed that, Minkah basically is sick of people walking on the Steelers logo. I'm surprised they are anyway. And so he's roped off the Steelers logo because he said it's the little things that matter. That's a massive shift, I feel like, in what we've seen cultural-wise in the last few years.
And as well, like, you've been to that locker room, right?
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah. I've been there. Now, you're not meant to walk over it, but at the same time, you might make mistakes. If you're a player or a reporter, sure, mistakes can happen, and I get that. Because I saw a lot of comments saying, well, they're not meant to walk over it anyway, right? But mistakes do happen.
It's the concept to me, though, of, like, safeguarding it, like, and being a custodian of it.
Yeah. I even saw a few comments were saying, why did they, stitch it into the carpet? But that's not the point. The point is like what you're saying too. He went to the initiative to the staff there and said, we need to rope this off and let no one walk over it. And it's true because they said back in the day that no one walked over it before. So maybe people have been slipping a little bit, not thinking about it too much. By the way, it's right in the middle of the room. It's right dead set right in the middle.
Exactly.
Like it's in the way, and it's also near a pillar too, where around the corner a pillar going to walk around it. So I like it though, man. I like it that Minkah's take the initiative to say, don't do that. We don't do that here. It's like one little fundamental thing to go from that to go for him to being an all pro, and we've all forgotten now that he was ever a Miami Dolphin.
Oh, it's funny you say that because the first thing I thought about was like, there's a little bit of negativity coming about Minkah when he left Miami and he didn't want to do this position, he didn't want to do that position, and he was into this and he wasn't into that and all the rest of it. He's clearly, and so while he performed on the field, I feel like in the first year there was like, it was like, is this guy going to be everything we think he's going to be? Like, has he got it in him for more seasons? Has he got his head right at the same time? And ever since he stepped into Pittsburgh, it's chalk and cheese.
100%. And what did we say? Well, last week it was 25, 26 years old. So he's good for another contract. He's but that little thing, like you said, that and I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to talk about it too. Just by doing that one little thing, by showing that we are the Pittsburgh Steelers and we're getting the culture back. That's probably, a big representation of what happened this season, this offseason, by roping that off and saying, you know what, you can't step on that. Because he was sick of seeing dirty cleat marks or mud marks on it and said, you know what, we can't have that here. We need to have some structure. And that's what we're all about.
Do you know what I love as well? You saw the team captains this week, and Killebrew makes sense on special teams, Pickett, Haywood, and TJ. I love that he went and did that, and it's not Cam Haywood and it's not TJ, and that he felt comfortable doing that. Now, I know Minkah is a senior leader in the defense and a senior 100%. Leader in the team because of what he does on the field. But we've talked about it before as well, and it's not a we hate Big Ben thing, but I feel like Big Ben, because he was the old custodian of a lot of the old way of doing things. And Haywood, there's the Steeler way, fine, but then there's an old way of doing things. And I feel like you kind of almost would have needed the permission of Ben to be able to do something like that before. Whereas the fact that Minkah felt free enough to take ownership and take leadership and just go do it and know that it was the right thing. Again, I love that cultural evolution. And I know people like, this is all off the field stuff. But this is the really important. This is
this
traits and
it's
character
huge,
that
to be honest.
translates on the field.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty huge story when you think about because such a little thing, I think, can mean so much. It was like last year when Tomlin bought them the black Air Force Ones, which meant
Well,
that
I was going to say it's also like when TJ went in apparently to the office and was like, "I'm sick of negotiating this now. Like, let's just get the deal done." Like,
done. You know, and speaking of that, what do you think about the Nick Bosa thing and how he had that held out for so long? Are you worried about him turning up on the week? Because I'm not that worried. To be
no,
honest,
I'm not either. I don't think he will. I like what Tomlin said, where Tomlin was like, "We had the same situation. TJ Watt came out and and played, and TJ Watt was TJ Watt that day." So I think it's just all pluses for the Steelers. I think I was going to bring that up with the injury report, which will get a bit more finalized over the next few days. For us, it's just Hayward and Ogunjobi with a foot. Cameron Hayward was limited. But then the 49ers, Trent Williams, their top tackle, did not practice. Going through some other notable names. Hafunga was limited with a knee. Kittle, groin limited. Romeo McLeod limited. Their kicker with a right quadricep injury was limited. Brock Purdy was a full practice, but he does have a right elbow issue. Like, I think the Steelers are getting a walking wounded 49ers a little bit. And I kind of like, I don't want the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers will be complacent because it's game 1 of the season. But I feel like the Steelers, even if they win by 20 points, the narrative is going to be, well, the 49ers didn't have Kittle. The 49ers didn't have Bosa. The 49ers didn't have da-da-da.
Oh, no, Bosa signed. He signed.
Why didn't that come up when I searched? Did Bosa sign? Oh, okay.
Didn't you see that? It was yesterday.
No, I missed that.
Yeah, he signed a big deal, but I still don't think he's going to make it a big impact.
That must have that happened yesterday, right?
Yeah, yesterday, yeah.
When I was winning stuff.
You've been too busy, mate. No, he signed.
Last minute, the last run to the wedding. I had a Google alert set up for this. This is ridiculous.
Probably the only bloke in the world didn't know. No, like he got signed, but I'm not worried about it, man. I'm really not, because he hasn't played.
170 million. Wow.
Yeah, like 32 million a year. Someone said on
how stuffed up's the NFL though? I literally have breaking alerts on player movement set up, and I got no notification on my phone.
I don't know, man. But yeah, he
must
signed.
Be a Dazen. They must outsource that to Dazen.
Yeah, by the way, did you cancel your Dazen? I
canceled my Dazen.
Yeah, make sure as well you refund it too. I've refunded mine and got my money back today. So you got to refund it though. They're very sneaky. If you cancel it, you're still getting.
I asked the guy. He said yes. I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it today.
But yeah, man, Bosa signed, but I'm not like he didn't do any off-season training with the team. He held out where TJ Watt was holding in and still doing sessions and stuff. I don't know, but it's so funny that all the 49ers fans a lot of them were saying trade him away. We don't like Bosa. The minute he signs, he's like, yeah, let's go. I don't know.
It's kind of funny. The same narrative went around Bosa with his brother Joey at the Chargers, because they negotiate really hard and really high, and fair enough to them. They get one career. But it was very similar. I remember it being very similar with Joey, because I remember thinking about it at the time. I was watching that negotiation quite closely, because that was either 1 season or 2 seasons. I think it was 1 season before TJ, and I wanted to see it might have been 2. And I wanted to see how that negotiation process was going to work, and because of how the flow and effect how it means for the Steelers. But I mean, that's a lot of cap for them to tie up to one player. And particularly when they got they got their rookie quarterback. But let's get into Steelers for the rest of the show. I mean, I think 3 things. What do you want to see on defense? Like, what's the one thing this team's got to do for all the good things that in the preseason? Fine. What's the one thing preseason that they might still need to work on? That they have to do in this game.
I don't want to see McCaffrey get out on those quick short passes and run away for 10 yards. Do you know what I mean? Where the middle linebackers got to chase him down, or the safety's got to take care of him, stuff like that. I think if they do the short passing game where if he goes through his progressions and doesn't get where he wants to go with the football, where we're marking them down, I don't want to see McCaffrey get the easy yards and it's like 2nd and 8 and the next minute's 1st and 10. Well, they got to start again. You got to take care of McCaffrey, I think, in the backfield. He's a very good pass catcher in the backfield. So that's one thing I want to see with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like that yak yardage, those. And it's funny you talk about that too, because I was hearing some analysis from one of the more national media this week who said kind of a similar thing in that, like, they will do the same thing over and over again and they'll do something very different. And sometimes that's like they'll trap you in the backfield, constantly focusing on defending the backfield, then they'll throw it deep, or they might sometimes do vice versa. And so I think that's kind of an interesting point that you make there, because I don't think the Steelers have, that's been an area where we've seen them really be ahead in games and then suddenly they're allowing a lot of yak or splash plays and we let the other team back into it. And I think that's where when you bring in a guy like Patrick Peterson, you bring in, a Joey Porter Jr., you bring in even having a rotational piece like a Nick Herbig, Keanu Benton. I feel like we've got guys that can stop the splash plays. And so that's actually a really good point that you make there. And I really like it. For me as well, I think the Steelers have got to make sure that the tackles stick, right? Like, you need to wrap guys up around the ankles no matter where they are in the field. That'll help stop the yak. You need to make sure that if you hit someone to try and dislodge the ball, your arms around in the tackle as well. You're not letting loose. We want to see people getting shrugged off. And I don't know, man. We might get to bold predictions at the end of the show. I kind of think Cole Holcomb's going to force a fumble in this game. I feel like he's pumped. Like, I looked through the training photos from practice. I think it was yesterday. His arms are massive. He's jacked. He's faster than what everyone thinks he is.
No one's talking about him at all. No one's
total sleeper on this team. Yeah. Total sleeper.
And he's the guy. He's going to be wearing the green dot. He's going to be on the field a lot of the times, and then he's going to switch around. Well, Roberts and Quan Alexander will switch around in certain, I guess, defensive positions. So, yeah, I could see that too, man, because no one's saying that he's a good player. Even when we signed him, people weren't that high on him. But I was like, wait until we see in training camp to see what he can do. And these guys are checked in. So
I don't know. Like, I'd love in 5 years' time to say that was a Farrier signing, right? Like,
yeah, in a few years' time when we do see a whole year or 2 years old, we're like, wow, that was crazy to see.
Yeah.
A bit like now with Minka and stuff, right? Well, Minka, the first game he had the crazy game against the Niners, but he's at a true stealer now. You see with Highsmith, true stealer. TJ Watt, true stealer. So, that's definitely fumble. Man, if we get a fumble or turnovers, that's going to be key, I think, too. A few two turnovers as well.
Well, all right, what's your over and under on that? I know it's a bit random part of our show to do it, but what's your over and under on the turnovers?
In total, I'd like to say 3. I think Brock Purdy throws at least 1 interception, and I think they turn the ball over twice, like fumbles or whatever.
Oh, well, you answered Quick Easy's question. I don't even have to ask.
I just don't see the overall hype around Purdy right now. I understand he had a really good offseason, but I think going to Heinz Field, I don't know if 49ers understand what that means to be Heinz Field with this defense, the new offseason, right? Or the offseason, all the things have been happening we've been talking about for months. Okay. I don't think they understand that they go into Heinz Field when it's been 7 years since our last first home game. And everyone's buying into Pickett. Like, I'm going to put this back to you on your rugby sense, Matt, right? You were playing with someone, right? When you knew one of your players was on your team and they were really good, right? And say you're good too, right? When you knew they were great, didn't that fire you up to be great as well?
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm particularly playing at home. I remember we had a home opener when I was in the preseason, and we had a home opener in the season when I was 17. And it was just different. We just got off to a different start that year. And we hadn't been good the year before. We hadn't been good. And we were just, I feel like we were like, it was like, we evolved not even to a second evolution, but a third evolution because of it. And you bring up a good point, because my next thing on defense was going to be, don't let them score early points. If you frustrate this 49ers offense where there's no points through midway through the second quarter, maybe they've had to settle for 1 field goal, or it's literally no points, the pressure is going to ramp up on them. And I feel like that'll also give the confidence to Pickett in the offense, because they can afford to make a couple of mistakes. And as soon as we get into this realm where the Steelers are getting a defense that's crushing the opposition and the offense feels free and able to try things and be free-flowing and be creative a bit more because they're not chasing the scoreboard, that's how this team is going to be really successful this year, regardless of what the margin is on the scoreboard.
And also, why can't they start the same way they ended last year with the Browns? even with that game when they won 28-14. I just see there's a lot of things going our direction where the media, the sports betting, anyone's talking about it, they're all saying 49ers are going to win this game. And it's like, out of all the games, I think this is the most likely one to win out of all the first round games or first week games, because I just don't trust. He said there in the injury report, Brock Purdy hurt his shoulder or his arm. Like, had to get surgery last year. He's played 3 snaps. I think 3 drives or 3 snaps, something like that in the season.
Yeah.
He's done nothing in preseason. Like, you need to warm up into the games. Kenny Pickett's had 5 drives. He's ready to go. Like, I really don't understand. I think the Steelers, and I'm going to predictions later, but they should be winning this game by quite a bit. TJ Watt's healthy. Hello, Nick Bosa's got signed, but did we forget about TJ Watt on the other side?
Well, and also, like, isn't TJ Watt going, like, he'll go against, I can't pronounce his name, but he's going against a very inexperienced tackle. His name starts with a C, but I butchered it 3 times. I tried to say it. It's like Savidio or something. I can't say it. I mucked around yesterday, and I've just got new retainers in, and I just can't say it. So, but he's going up against a very inexperienced, like, tackle there. And so that's going to be an easy matchup. The other thing I like too is that we do have Herbig and Golden. So it's not like TJ has to play a billion snaps, but he's also coming off a preset, like a full off season. So he'll be ready to go. Let's flick it to the offense so we can get into predictions. We said 3 things. We talked to defense. Maybe it might become 4 things. Hey, Bernie, got you live, Bernie. Fantastic.
Bernie, what's going on, mate?
Yeah, offense. What needs to happen on offense?
This is probably the easiest answer, but they have to do the exact same thing they did in preseason. Like, that's a real easy answer, but it's the truth. If they do the exact same thing.
Really? Okay, I want to unpack that. I want to unpack that before we get into the why. There was a discussion around the fact that even what we saw in preseason was vanilla to what was happening at training camp. Mm-hmm. So you're cool with what you saw in preseason. Do you want it to evolve, or do you just want them to start slowly and build?
I just mean by scoring points, bro.
Yeah.
like 5 for 5 TDs. Like, when you look at his preseason, they say, oh, it's only preseason. That's always the excuse. Someone could run like 500 yards in preseason and go, it's only preseason. You know what I'm saying? It's only week 1. It's always something. Oh, it's only week 15. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. They're versing guys on the field. Pickett tore them up. That pass is still one of the best passes I've seen in a very long time. That absolute dime into the breadbasket into DJ's hands when he was running. That was fantastic.
Oh, you mean last year against the Jags, that one?
Yeah, the last preseason game we did.
Oh, yeah, against Deontay. Yeah, against Falcons.
That was like us. He didn't slow down at all. Just kept running, and just went right in the basket. And then DJ ran out of bounds. Fair enough. But that was one of the best passes I've seen in a long time from Pickett. I was like, over. He can't do that. It's like, come on, man. Like, I just go back to like a lot of the confident things, and even with when I play sport, when you've played sport, right? They've practiced so much in the offseason. They should be ready for this game because they've done all the reps, the mental reps. And what do? Mental reps account for actual real live game reps. TJ Watt's going to be ready to go from snap number 1, not snap 25 or 30 into this. Bosa won't be ready to do that. So I'm saying my next takeaway would be, can the offense do the same thing or similar thing in the preseason where the overall hype does match the expectation we talked about a few months ago too? That's what I want to see. And if we see that, like Pickett to Pickens, and we see a 5-play, 70-yard drive, and we win 7-0, we're all going to go, woo! Are we ready or what? Or you and I would be probably tired, but you know what I mean? Everyone's going to be like...
we'll still be like doing that in our heads. But yeah, Bernie says I like to see some deep stuff early to lose and stuff. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, and if you're not chasing a scoreboard, you get the freedom to do this. One of the things that I want to see, which kind of is part of both of even Bernie's point and your point, Mark, I want to see continuity on offense. I know that sounds like a really odd thing to say, like where Kenny Pickett's, not, making a lot of completions, Najee and Warren are getting a lot of yards. But I want to see it flow. Like, we all criticize the Matt Canada offense of like run, sweep, run, pass, run, sweep. Like, it never feels like it's... Remember a couple of years ago, we had that sort of discussion around the fact that offense looks great for other teams, but Steelers, you're like, are you actually going to be able to do it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, offense looks so smooth for other teams, even with rookies.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
we were like so start. Like, oh my God, he got a 10-yard pass. Like, I haven't seen that all. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's a really odd position to be in as a fan. And that's why I say we've seen that. That's what I liked in the preseason was the continuity or fluidity, whatever. Yeah, exactly. There was a rhythm to it. Like you can use all, I mean, I'm starting to just say words now, but like that rhythm and that tempo, that's the other thing. I want to see the rhythm where it flows well together, but I also want to see the tempo where they can lift and like no huddle, like go for it, get the other team on the back foot. I think if they can do that, then yeah, this team will score like this easily will score 25 plus points. It might even be like 30 plus.
We haven't seen that too, like maybe since 2015, 2016, when that really good season with Big Ben too. So we haven't seen that, but you're right, because we always get, we talked about before last year in the podcast that was like, well, other teams can just seamless get down the field and get 21, 25, and we're struggling to get that big play, like you said. So yeah, and I think that the preseason showed us that too. Doesn't matter who we verse, I don't care. They were at least going out there because it's a double-edged sword. If we didn't go and get the points, we would be angry because we didn't get it, right? And because we did, we're still angry. We're always angry. It doesn't make it, it doesn't matter to me. So yeah, if the first drive, they run the ball, they're moving the sticks, they find GP, they go deep, they find DJ, get separation like he did, and Allen Robinson, you work the middle of the field with Muth, you get a TD 7-0, good defense, 3 and out. It's game on. Like, it's game on. And it's like, shut up, 49er fans. They all think they're going to win this game, by the way. They all 100% all think they're going to win. And I just don't see it. So, because I think we're just the Steelers and we're 9-8 and we haven't improved. A lot of the media and all those guys don't think the Steelers have improved at all. But if you've been guys in the live chat, been watching since February last year, or since we did the 6-hour draft when we do that stuff, like, mate, like this team, like the more you think about it, the more you talk about it. And yes, we're biased, but the hype is matching the bias too. Like, there are guys coming in this team that are ready to go. And like you said, back to Minka, doing the little things like that. Kenny watching all of his 185 incompletions or whatever it may be. Minka studying with Kenny. You know what I mean? Kenny next to Cameron Hayward in the locker rooms. And these are only small things too. These aren't the things we even see where you'll see like probably Cameron Hayward talking to Benton and saying, don't push like here, maybe move your hands up to do this.
Yeah.
There are so many things like that where we miss. And you know that they're checked in and ready to go. Like it's just crazy to me. And I know we want to see it. And when we do see it, we'll start to understand this team if we lose to, fine. But you keep moving forward. If we lose, I'm not shocked. I'm not annoyed at all if we lose.
Yeah, that's what I said. And also we talked about a couple a week or two ago is like even if they win a couple of games and then there's a couple of bad runs in a row, like you've got a second-year quarterback. That's the reality of it. But Bernie had a really good question as well on like how much input do you think Thomas has had?
True.
I think Canada's benefited from the players that they've brought in that fit, but like, yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I don't know, Mark. It's hard to say because we haven't really heard him talk that much, and the Steelers won't ever. They'll never let you know that because, especially with Matt Canada and how polarizing he is, they're never going to want. Yeah, it's not going to.
Imagine if they came out and told us everything. Do you know what I mean? They told us like, by the way, we Matt Canada's not even calling the plays. Glenn Thomas is. We don't trust Matt Canada, so we're using him more. Imagine they said that. They're not going to say that. So
no, they're never going to. But it's a good question, and I think we're going to need like some in-season play to work out. Is that a Glenn Thomas thing? Is that a Pittsburgh toddy? I remember making breakfast and lunch during the 6-hour.
Both. That's probably true as well, isn't it?
I want to bring this up. Bold prediction because I'm versing Daredevil in fantasy this week.
6 points.
6 points. Well, mate, I've got I think it's saying that I should beat you by 2 points on averages. So
Daredevil hasn't got who's the other bloke? Kelsey's probably out, right? He's probably out.
Yeah. He's
out. So he's always injured. What's
the matchup? Oh, so Daredevil's team, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. Oh, that's right. Daredevil got McLaurin right before 2 picks.
Yeah, he's good. I like Scary.
I remember that. Good. Oh, and Daredevil's got the Wizard of Oz.
I would love to have Scary Terry on our team. I think he's really good.
I think I do too.
He's on a bad team. He's in the Commanders. Like, he's getting wasted over there. He needs to be somewhere else. He could be a superstar.
That's a really good point from Michael O'Malley. Imagine being able to rotate the players on defense.
And trusting them.
think about the outside linebacker position though. Like people like Chicolo, like
Go on.
Malik Reed, like
Go on.
just.
I was so high on Reed too. I was so high on him. I gave him a chance. He did nothing.
I remember when he came in, you were like, "This guy's got all these sacks,"
high.
and you were like,
he had the highest sacks with Denver the last 2 years or something like that, and then he didn't get any, none, didn't do anything. So I don't know, but yeah, that's a great point. Chicolo with Reed, Ingram.
I'm trying to think. We had someone else who was not good. Bostic was in the middle. He was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I don't know. Like, but you just look at it and you're like, no one's ever.
The Capoeira guy. That dude.
Oh, Cassius
Marsh. Yeah, he was in there too for a bit.
That's it.
On the outside.
All right. Well, since Bernie brings it up, and then we get into bold predictions. We can have a fan vote on the matchup between the Steeler McNutties and Daredevil's Brotherhood of Steel. So this is Daredevil's team for all those listening. Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Jackson, RB from the Colts, Devontae Adams, McLaurin, John Johnson, tight end, J.K. Dobbins, running back. This is his starters at the moment. Boswell, Eagles defense. And the Steely McNutties, I got Lamar Jackson, which I might swap out for Daniel Jones. Haven't decided yet. Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne, AJ Brown, Chris Olave, Darren Waller, Javonte Williams, Carlson, the kicker from Las Vegas, and that's the only way Las Vegas are going to score points. And I got the Packers defense. So anyone in the live chat that wants to vote on which team is going to win that, we'll see.
You might get some 12 points with the 5 kicks from the Raiders. They might just get there and then just kick.
That's it. That's why I drafted.
They're in a bit of trouble too. They're in a big trouble. I don't think they're a good franchise at the moment. They're trying to rely everything on Jimmy G to solve their issues. That's not to solve their issues. It's not a good thing.
I'm so hyped up for this matchup. That's great. That is great. Man. All right, let's get into some predictions. Let's go with a couple of over-unders first. Live chat, play along as always. Kenny Pickett TDs.
I think 2. I think 2 TDs.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm actually going to go Pickens and Deontay get 2. Those are my guys. Pickens and Deontay, my guys.
I'm going to go Allen Robinson and Pickens.
Yeah, I think Pickens.
And if it's a third, it's Freiermuth.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
Yeah. All right. Over or under Jaylen Warren 10 carries?
Over.
Okay.
I think he's going to get a TD as well. I think they'll play him to the game.
Over and under Cameron Hayward. Oh, not Cameron Hayward. Connor Hayward 3 receptions.
He's the one guy. Actually, I've kind of forgotten about the whole week. Yeah. So I hopefully think the Niners will get 2. Over 3? Oh boy. Over 4. Just gets 4.
Wow.
Just
firing offense. All right. Let's go score on offense. How many points do they score on offense? Over and under 27.
I've got 31, man. My thing's been 31-10 the whole time. I've got 4 TDs and a field goal. I've got Najee, Warren, Pickens, Deontay. I'm going all out. This is the game to me that you absolutely crush them. If they're playing on fire, you crush them. You don't stop. You keep going.
I love that. Yeah. I love that.
Can I just bring up something
also 31's realistic because they could get a defensive score.
Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen that meme where that chick she uses it's so bad. It's so bad. She uses like Gorilla Glue as like hair product, and she had to rip her hair out, bro. That's terrible. It's awful. It's just insane. She puts it in her hair to like mess around and to use, and then 5 minutes later she had to rip off her hair. Anyways, don't do that.
Nice segue. Right. Let's go in. Let's go into defense. Defense interceptions 2 over under.
I think under. I think they get 1, just 1 from Purdy. If he's making 2 mistakes, that's fantastic. And then the
Niners
fumble.
Force fumble.
I think 2 because I think there's 1 on offense and 1 on maybe teams. I think
Really?
Herbig's going to make one on teams. Yeah, man. I think Herbig's going to do something on teams. He's going to smash someone.
I love it.
They're versus Ray
I think
Ray,
we can
remember?
see strip sack too with Purdy. I think we can see a
Yeah.
strip sack.
They're
And
versus
not
Ray
necessarily
Ray.
from I think Cameron Hayward's gonna have a sneaky good game in this. Like I think he's gonna tear it up.
Yeah, so I've got 3 turnovers from the 49ers, which can happen.
I like that. All right. What about Holcomb tackles over and under 9?
It's a good number. I'm gonna say under, because I get a feeling that they're gonna try and
Rotate.
after a while they're gonna try and throw the ball deep because they'll be behind and they won't be going his direction. I'm gonna say under, but I get what you're saying though. If he's getting a lot of tackles, then we're in a lot of trouble. I think because we're out there a lot.
Depends, unless he's shutting down McCaffrey and Purdy doesn't know how to make a throw.
Do
you know what I mean? So I'm looking from the other end of like he's just in there, just boom, like a missile.
I want to see them rock McCaffrey, man. McCaffrey's a good running back, but I want to see him rocked. And he gets injured a lot too, let's be honest. So they can rock him, bro. Just same. Bernie's got over that just says, tackle machine.
That's it.
It's a good number though. 9's a good number.
What about tackles for a loss? 4.
For who? Holcomb?
Just the team.
Oh, the team. Ooh.
Steelers haven't done as well in tackles for. If you go look at the stats, our tackles for loss over the last few years have not been nearly as good as what they have been at the peak of our powers on defense.
Does the sack count though, or not? I don't think it does. Does it?
No,
so you have a sack and you get the tackle for loss. 4. Yeah. Okay, let's.
But people got to be careful about that because some sites with stats actually meld them together.
I either say under or push. I don't know if they get 5, but I say TJ will get 1. Highsmith will be in there. Maybe
Highsmith on the run.
If they get over 4 and 5 and 6, something like that,
they're shutting that defense down. Yeah,
it's goodbye. And even like Shannon Sullivan comes in the backfield somewhere like that, or Keanu Neal runs in there. These guys, what we saw in preseason and the training camp, they just want to move to the ball. That's what they want to do.
All right. Then I'm going to go back to offense. Well, kind of all, not just offense, special teams too. All-purpose yards, Calvin Austin, right? Over under 80 yards.
I'm going to go over because I actually have a bold prediction. I think he's going to make a big run. I think something's going to happen where we saw it in preseason. It's home day. If they give him a short punt or it all lines up, he's going to run back for 30, 40 yards. He's shown it before.
Yeah.
I think over all purpose, he'd be used in the running game, the passing game. He might get 2 passes too. You don't even know. With this offense, you don't know anymore. He might be going down the field like with Rudolph to a 50-yard pass from Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
They've tried it before. They can do it again. So all-purpose 80 yards, including the punt return, I'd say over.
Yeah. I almost made it 100 as I was saying it. I was like,
oh, true.
Because, three decent punt returns is 30 yards, right? So
plus get him involved in the offense too, jet sweeps, get him involved in. He's one. There's so many weapons now. If everything we're talking about and it comes true, we're happy as Larry.
Successful challenges, Mike Tomlin over under 1.
I'll say over, but let's hope we don't have to do that because that means
things are getting tight.
So I'm going to say over. I don't think his thing's not as bad as it is. I think it's like 37%.
It's gotten a lot better. I just wanted to give you a muck around one.
Yeah.
If you're predicting now, final thing, you're going to put for now, and then everyone throw your names in the live chat as well. It's cool on the over and unders actually. These made a lot of sense. If you're giving a 3-2-1 out for best player, even kind of like hockey does it, a 3-2-1 or the other sports do it. And you're predicting it today before the game, what does your 3-2-1 look like?
Oh, it has to be Kenny. I've been saying it. I'm on the Kenny train. So Kenny is 3 for me because I think the game is gonna be on him. I think he'll be 3. You want the 2-star as well?
Yeah, the 2 on the 1. Yeah.
2-star. I'm gonna say TJ Watt. I think he turns up. And 1. Who would be the 1-star after that? Probably Pickens. Pickens will do something crazy. You know what I mean? Those are the 3 easy ones, though. I didn't even bring up Najee Harris. 3. Yeah,
I know. I've got kind of 5 guys I'm trying to cram into 3.
Yeah, Kenny, TJ Watt makes a big play as normal. You know, he's like the leading everything pretty much in 2017, and they're all talking about Bosa. We didn't. There's so many plays.
I think Minka's going to make game-winning plays.
I thought about Minka, yeah, because he's got the pick and stuff like that. He's been studying. These guys are ready. They'll be ready for this game. They're pros.
Minka will be the 2 or the 1. It's hard not to say Pickens as well. I agree with you, Pickens. I don't think Najee's going to have a bigger day week 1 as what we think we do. Pickett's there. I mean, I still think like Frymouth could explode in this game. Like he could absolutely run right. And we haven't seen like it's funny we didn't see that much from the preseason, which makes sense given how quality he is and a bit of injury history. But that touchdown between him and Pickett, like that relationship is so much further ahead, and it's going to be so much more beneficial than people realize in year 2 of Pickett. Like he can find him.
You know what's funny too is because like everyone's harping on about the 49ers with their team and this whatever, but like you think to the Steelers, it's pretty similar players.
It is. Right? Well, and Tom, I'm going to talk about, but I think the Steelers are a much better team than the 49ers. On paper, you look at the depth of like the 53.
Yeah.
I know maybe that's black and gold goggles on, but I'm just like
probably a little bit, but still like you think of like the star guy Pickens, DJ is I guess Brendan Ayuk or whatever, but I don't know, man. I just think we can run the ball. We can do a lot of things too, what they can do. So
finish up pretty shortly, but Alex Mahoney says, how has your opinion of Canada changed from last year? What have you seen that makes a difference? So just to me, and Mark, you and I both got that video out there where we've got the blank piece of paper and we gave Canada hell last season.
I definitely did. Hands up.
For me, I think he's got players that fit his schemes better. And I think that they've been able to trust Kenny so they can open it up more. I still don't think we've seen the full Matt Canada offense in play, and therefore we haven't seen it be successful. So for me, it's like I wouldn't call it like a stay of execution for want of a better term, but I do think I'm interested to see more, whereas last time I was like, I don't need to see any more.
Yeah. I'm just really a yinzer at heart. It's like you played poor. There was poor last year with 18 points per game. Now they're scoring 27. So I like you. That's pretty my assessment. Is like no one's talked about it because they've been doing good things on offense, right? But at the same time, Kenny Pickett is their guy now. They rebuilt O-line, star plays into their second year. You know what I mean? There's so many guys now. If your depth is Jalen Warren and McFarland is number 3, come on, man, not bad. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't even talk about Darnell. How many players are there?
Deontay Pickens, Allen Robinson.
Pretty good, 3 of them, yeah.
That's pretty deep wide receiver room.
Man, they talk about the three guys, 3 amigos from the Bengals, right? But there are so many people that can get the ball to in this offense that can make plays and do things.
Do you know the thing about the Bengals, though, with their 3 amigos? They don't use their best amigo nearly enough. And this is going to sound odd for people. No, I think T. Higgins is one of the most underrated wide receivers in this league. Like terrific player. I know Jamar Chase has got the speed and got receptions and got the separation, but the ability, like what you can get T. Higgins to do is so much more versatile. So, but anyway, we're not here to talk about the Bungles.
Not yet. They got a hard match. They got a hard match to. Yeah, that was the stupidest media thing ever. No, why would you call yourself the Glizzy Gobblers?
That means something very, very, very different down under.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you that. Anything else you wanted to close out the show with, Marky D?
You know what? Just one thing. I think we just got to enjoy the journey that is this season because it takes so long to get here. Don't hurry it. Don't hurry it. Enjoy every single moment. Watch the game twice, 3 times. Watch the highlights. Enjoy the process. And also, if we do lose, it's okay. As long as they don't lose by 41-3, I'm okay. Like if it's like they lose by 27-26, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. But you move on, right? You want to see them play. But I don't think this team is like that. I really don't. You look around the whole locker room for all the guys they brought in. The guys on offense, they want to win. Kenny's a winner. He's checked in. I just don't see them losing this game. I really don't. Not yet.
Universal.
I
love it. I love it. I wasn't referring to that. I was referring to something else. But anyway, there we go. Well, yeah, they have to win because they have to win. 2 days before the wedding, they have to win.
Yeah, man.
Otherwise,
I won't turn up. I'm not turning up otherwise.
I know it's a good alcohol package. You can drown your sorrows.
No, I'm more confident. Even with the Bengals last year, I was kind of like on the fence. Maybe I wanted to win. They should win. They're away, and that game was a heart attack game. This one, I think, if you look at all the players and what they're going to do and how they're going to attack this team, and the 49ers are a good team. Let's be honest, they're a good team, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just don't trust Brock Purdy going in there and scoring 21 points. If we just score 22 points, we win this game. I don't see it.
And before we close out the show, so Mark is coming to my wedding next week.
Yep.
And we asked all the guests to submit 3 songs that they wanted to get played at the wedding by the DJ. And Mark, in true Steel fashion, Renegade's there, Black and Yellow there. I don't remember what the third one you picked was.
I know it is.
Steel song.
Probably some Blink song, I think.
Yeah.
Blink 182.
But anyway, they're there. They're on the list. So that's good.
Yeah, and I think it should be a victory Wednesday for us too. You're getting married, but like
victory.
I just
Veterans
so
Day off.
Yeah, I'm just so confident about this team, bro. I look around and we're healthy. They're ready to go. There's no Devin Bush. Like you've got guys.
No Claypool, no Bush. No Claypool. Like
and the offense got better without Claypool last year, and it just everything changed, and the running game looks better. Like you think that Warren wants? My view of it is like, do these players want to lose? Does Warren want to lose? No, they don't want to lose. Cameron Hay want to lose? No, they don't. Minka want to lose? No, they don't. They don't want to lose.
There's some great stuff going on in the live chat right now. But with that, go Steelers. They're gonna. Like, I just can't wait to see. I just want to see the on-field play. Like it's just
exactly
that's what I want to see. We talked about the 3 things and more. They just got to like. I know it's like. This is saying you got to turn up to play. That's kind of what they do. They just got to rock up, have the attitude. We're winning this game. This is it. This is game 1 winner of the 17-game season where we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to win a playoff game. That's the attitude that they got to have. I feel like they got that attitude, and that's what like really excites me. We're going to try and do what videos we can over the next week on this channel. Obviously, it's going to be a bit interesting with some of the events that we've both got going on next week, but excited to always talk Steelers with the fam. Good to be able to do a live with you guys as well today. And as always, Marky D.
Go Steelers. Here we go.